morning, dear hearts. We are now in lesson 249. We're very close to completing another section in part 2 of the workbook. So here we are, 249. Our lesson for the day is forgiveness ends all suffering and loss. And in the meantime, please subscribe because I didn't say that. So forgiveness ends all suffering and loss. Well, how does it do that? Well, forgiveness ends all of our judgments. When we are forgiving of everything that seems to be happening around us, then we don't take on any more judgments. We don't take on any more grievances. And then that way, forgiveness will end all of the suffering and all of the loss that we have believed to be real and true. Forgiveness is not exactly a miracle, however, it is miraculous. In the part one, in the text, it tells us one of the principles of miracles is that miracles are natural signs of forgiveness, and through miracles you accept God's forgiveness by extending it to others. And also that miracles are part of an interlocking chain of forgiveness, which when completed is the atonement, the at-one-ment, that new way of thinking and of experiencing this world. And atonement works all the time and in all dimensions of time. Time is what we believe we are in right now, and forgiveness, the accepting of forgiveness and the ending of all of our suffering and loss really will help to take us out of the time-bound world that we believe we are in. So back to today's lesson. The first part is the more text-like portion, and it says, forgiveness paints a picture of a world where suffering is over, loss becomes impossible, and anger makes no sense. If I'm not taking on any judgments, if I'm not finding anything to have a grievance about, if I don't have a harsh opinion of anyone or anything, there's no reason for anger. Anger only comes from those ideas of grievance and judgment and opinions that are not supported in the real world, this world, the real world. Attack is gone and madness has an end. What suffering is now conceivable? What loss can be sustained? The world becomes a place of joy, abundance, charity, and endless giving. It is now so like to heaven that it quickly is transformed into the light that it reflects. So here we are completing this section of what is the world, and we're finding that, as we were told in the beginning, that the world is a false perception. And how do we transform this world into one that it is so like to heaven that it is filled with abundance and charity and endless giving? And charity in this case is not that I'm giving you money. This charity is in this case is that I am giving you beautiful, loving thoughts. That is the charity that I am giving you. And it's so like to heaven that it's transformed into the light that it reflects, because the light is in us and we are part of heaven. And it's part of our function. And forgiveness is our function as the light of the world. And so the journey which the Son of God began has ended in the light from which he came. We came from light, we are light, we return to light. That is all that we are. We are the light of the world, and we bring peace to every mind as the light of the world and through forgiveness. So forgiveness paints a world where suffering is gone and loss is gone, and it's all impossible because forgiveness ends all of that, all suffering and all loss, all belief in suffering, all belief in loss. The second part of today's lesson, the prayer, says, Father, we would return our minds to you. We have betrayed them, held them in a vice of bitterness, and frightened them with thoughts of violence and of death. And all of that we did when we believed in what the ego told us, when we believed that forgiveness was not so, when we believed that this was a place of suffering, this was a world of loss, this was a world of hatred and of fear. That is the vice that we have held our mind in. But now we are letting go. We are loosening that vice that we have been in. You know what a vice is? And it's something, and you hold something very tightly in it, and it has a handle, and you can screw it and make it tighter and tighter and tighter. But now that vice is undone, and we will be free. Now would we rest again in you as you created us. And there it is again, that I am as God created me. We are his children eternally. Forgiveness ends all suffering and loss and helps us return our mind to the truth of who we really are and why we are truly here, simply to be the light of the world and find our way back home, complete the journey that was actually never really begun. That's it for today. I hope it helped. Please like, please share, please subscribe, please comment, please pray, and please be here tomorrow when we complete our special, relevant, central thought of what is the world. Namaste.